Step into the unknown with the shadow frequency and your host, Matt Wilson, as he takes you where the shadows hum.
Welcome back, everyone, to another night of eerie tales and unexplained mysteries. And as always, Juniper's on the hunt for tonight's episode file. Juniper, how's the excavation going?
Oh, you know, just your usual file cabinet archaeology. Wait a second, what do we have here? Well, Matt, I just found a rubber spider that apparently plays creepy little tunes.
Well, that's definitely one way to set the mood. Anything else in there? Maybe a ghostly kazoo?
Let's see. Oh, now this is interesting. There's a dusty old journal here, and I swear it's whispering something.
Well, that's not ominous at all. Maybe it's got some ancient podcast secrets in there. But fingers crossed, our actual episode file is a little less haunted. Find it yet?
Aha, got it. Tonight's episode file, safe and sound. No whispers, no eerie tunes, just a good old-fashioned file folder. We're all set to roll.
Perfect. And that, folks, is how you know we put the extra mile in for every show. Stay tuned because tonight's episode is coming up next.
Welcome, listeners, to episode 184 of The Shadow Frequency, where we dive into the eerie corners of the unknown. I'm Juniper, your producer, and tonight we're peeling back the veil on a chilling tale from the heart of Winnipeg, Canada. The Fort Garry Hotel. A grand relic from 1913 hides a dark secret in its infamous room 202, a place where grief and supernatural collide. Blood on the walls, ghostly figures, and a presence that crawls into bed with you. This was not for the faint of heart. Matt, you ready to unpack this haunted file?
Oh, Juniper, you know I'm always ready to crack open a creepy case. This one's got my skin crawling already. Room 202 sounds like it's got more ghosts than guests.
Right.
You dig up anything extra spooky in that file cabinet of yours?
Let's just say the cabinet was rattling when I pulled this one out, Matt. Something about a woman in a cloak who doesn't check out, ever. Take it away, fearless host, and don't get too cozy in that hotel bed.
Thanks, Juniper, for digging out this gem from that glowing file cabinet of yours. All right, listeners, let's dive into the shadows. I've got the Fort Garry Hotel file spread out in front of me, and it's thick with whispers from beyond. Picture this: Winnipeg, Canada, 1913. The Grand Trunk Pacific Railway builds a castle-like masterpiece. The Fort Garry Hotel, all steep roofs and lavish interiors meant to dazzle train passengers. It's a National Historic Site now, but its grandeur hides something far darker, especially on the second floor, in room 202. This room is the epicenter of the hotel's paranormal reputation. The story goes that decades ago, a young woman checked into room 202, her heart heavy with love. Then tragedy struck. Her husband died in a car accident, and the news shattered her. Overcome with grief, she locked herself in that room and, in a moment of despair, hanged herself in the closet. Her spirit, it seems, never left. Guests who stayed in room 202 report waking to the sensation of someone slipping into bed beside them, only to find no one there. In 2004, former Ontario Liberal MP Brenda Chamberlain made headlines when she felt this ghostly presence twice in one night. She described it as a weight, like someone settling onto the mattress, chilling her to the bone. But it's not just the bed. Hotel staff have walked into room 202 and seen blood dripping down the walls, only for it to vanish moments later. Can you imagine cleaning that up, only to realize it's not real? Or maybe it's too real. Guests have seen a woman in a cloak hovering at the foot of their bed, her face obscured, her presence heavy with sorrow. One account that gives me chills comes from a young boy on a Make-A-Wish trip. He was obsessed with the paranormal and so too with his film camera. When the photos were developed, every picture from the trip turned out, except those from room 202. Blank. Every single one. The kid was thrilled, saying the spirits were camera shy. But I'm betting his parents weren't so calm. The hauntings aren't confined to room 202. The woman's spirit drifts into the hotel lounge, where staff and guests have seen her crying in a corner, her sobs echoing in the quiet. Other apparitions wander the halls, a woman in a flowing ball gown, a man in a dark cloak. In 1989, a kitchen worker heard strange noises from the locked dining room at 4 a.m. He grabbed a key, opened the door, and saw a man sitting at a table still as death. When he returned with another staff member, the figure was gone. No trace, no explanation. The Fort Garry's history only deepens the unease. Built as a luxury stop for rail travelers, it hosted icons like Queen Elizabeth and Louis Armstrong. But its opulent chandeliers and marble staircases seem to trap more than just memories. The second floor is a paranormal hotspot, with reports of whispers, footsteps, and lights flickering for no reason. Some say the woman from room 202 is searching for her lost husband, forever caught in her moment of grief. Others say the hotel itself holds onto its tragedies, like a tape loop playing the past on repeat. Juniper, this place is giving me the creeps just reading about it. You ever think about checking into room 202 for a night just to see what happens?
Matt, you couldn't pay me enough to sleep in that room. Blood on the walls, a ghost in my bed. I'd be out the door faster than you can say checkout time.
Yeah, me too.
But I bet our listeners are dying to hear more. What's next in that file?
Oh, there's plenty more where this came from. Let's take a quick break, and then I'll dive deeper into the Fort Garry's shadows. Juniper, over to you.
Phew, listeners, how's your heart rate after that? The Fort Garry Hotel is serving up some serious chills with room 202's ghostly guests. Are you thinking about booking a stay, or are you keeping your distance from Winnipeg's haunted hotspot? We've got more eerie tales coming up in the second half, so don't touch that dial. And now let's send it to Chris Beach to tell you where to find us.
Thanks, Juniper. And hey, don't forget, if you're enjoying the show, give us a like and subscribe. You can follow The Shadow Frequency on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and of course, all the major podcast directories. Want more? Head over to shadowfrequencypodcast.com, where you'll find every episode, our brand new Shadow blog with companion articles, and our merch store with some eerie cool swag. Plus, we'd love to hear from you. Leave us a voicemail right on the site and let us know where you're listening from. We might feature your message in an upcoming episode. And if you'd like to support the show, you can even buy us a coffee. Every bit helps keep the shadows whispering. Back to you, Juniper.
Thanks, Chris. Now it's time for our favorite part, the mailbag. I'm firing up the Spectral Cosmic Message Materializer. We go with the switches. All right, let's see what it's got for us. It's a humming, it's a glowing. Here comes the message. All right, let me crack this open. Oh, this is a good one. The materializer's done its magic, and we've got a fantastic message to share. This one comes from Darla Morales in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Darla writes, "Hey, Matt and Juniper, just wanted to drop a quick note to say how much I love the Shadow Frequency podcast. I first stumbled on your show while doom scrolling through conspiracy threads late one night. Now I listen religiously. I usually stream it through Spotify while walking my dog through the foothills. Nothing like a good cryptid story to keep the coyotes at bay." Oh, Darla, I love that, using our spooky tales to ward off coyotes. That's next level. She goes on, "Seriously though, I love the dynamic between you two. The mix of spooky, weird, and witty is perfect. Also that file cabinet thing, hilarious and strangely unsettling. Can't tell me about it. I need to know what's glowing in there. Keep doing what you're doing. You've got a loyal listener out here in the desert." It says, "Stay spooky, Darla." Darla, you're our kind of people. That glowing cabinet, let's just say it's got a mind of its own. Thanks for the love, and keep those coyotes at bay. Want to share your thoughts? Drop us a line at shadowpodcast@protonmail.com. Matt, back to you for more Fort Garry hauntings.
Thanks, Juniper, and a big shout out to Darla for that awesome message. All right, listeners, let's step back into the shadowy halls of the Fort Garry Hotel. We're still in Winnipeg, 1913's grand masterpiece, where room 202's tragic spirit seems to linger like a guest who never checked out. But there's more to this hotel than one heartbroken ghost. Let's dig deeper into the file. Beyond room 202, the second floor is a paranormal playground. Guests report seeing a woman in a ball gown gliding down the hallways, her dress rustling as if caught in a breeze that doesn't exist. Others have spotted a man in a dark cloak, his face hidden, standing silently in corners. The hotel's Palm Lounge is another hot spot, where the woman from room 202, some say her name is lost to history, has been seen weeping, her sobs cutting through the chatter of guests. One story from the 1920s tells of a newlywed couple staying at the hotel. The husband stepped out to fetch headache pills for his wife, but was struck and killed by a horse-drawn cart. Devastated, she took her life in room 202, and now her spirit waits on the bed, hoping for his return. But the hauntings don't stop there. In the ballroom, a security guard once found 10 candles arranged in a star shape on the floor. No event scheduled, no explanation. Guests have reported lights flickering, whispers in empty rooms, and even a ghostly woman asking for water before vanishing. The Fort Garry Chateau-style architecture, with its turrets and marble, seem to hold these spirits like a gilded cage. Some say the hotel's very walls are imbued with the pain of its past, trapping these entities in an endless loop. Now let's pause for a moment of skepticism. Not everyone buys into the Fort Garry's haunted reputation. Some argue these stories are just that, stories. A skeptic might say the blood on the walls could be a trick of the light or a vivid imagination fueled by the hotel's creepy lore. Brenda Chamberlain's experience in 2004? Maybe a vivid dream or the power of suggestion in a place known for its ghost tales. The blank photos from that young boy? Could have been a faulty camera or a development error. Hotels like the Fort Garry thrive on their mystique. It's good for business. But even skeptics can't deny the sheer volume of reports from guests and staff over decades. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe something lingers in those halls. Back to the paranormal, because this place is crawling with it. Ghost tours like those run by Square Peg Tours let brave souls spend 3 hours in room 202 with dowsing rods and K2 meters, hunting for signs of the supernatural. YouTubers and paranormal investigators flock to the hotel, recording EVPs and capturing shadowy figures on camera. One video from 2021 shows a team picking up unexplained whispers in room 202, their equipment spiking wildly. The Fort Garry's reputation as one of Canada's most haunted hotels isn't just hype, it's built on a century of encounters that defy explanation. Whether it's the widow's grief, the echoes of a lost newlywed, or something darker woven into the hotel's foundation, the Fort Garry holds its secrets tightly. If you're ever in Winnipeg, will you dare to book room 202? Just don't be surprised if you wake up with company. Juniper, I'm half tempted to book a flight and test my nerve in that room. What do you think? Would you join me for a ghost hunt?
Matt, you're on your own for that one. I'd rather stay home with a flashlight and a Ouija board than face whatever's crying in that lounge. But you got me hooked on these stories. Any final thoughts before we wrap?
Just one. Listeners, if you're chasing shadows, the Fort Garry's waiting. Juniper, take us home.
What a chilling ride through the Fort Garry Hotel's haunted halls, listeners. From room 202's grieving spirit to the eerie figures wandering the lounge and corridors, this place is a paranormal goldmine. Thanks for joining us on episode 184 of The Shadow Frequency. If you've got your own spooky stories or want to weigh in on the Fort Garry ghosts, hit us up at shadowpodcast@protonmail.com. Matt, say goodbye to our shadowy friends.
Stay spooky, everyone, and watch your back in room 202.
That's a wrap, folks. Until next time, keep your eyes on the shadows and your ears tuned to the Shadow Frequency. Good night.
This episode was produced with a commitment to exploring the unexplained while grounding our discussion in documented discoveries. All interpretations are speculative and intended for entertainment purposes.